The government is watching this right now, and they're probably scared. I mean, there's people that go to school to be private investigators, who do all this stuff to build these skills in their head to be private investigators, and they get paid less than some fucking asshole YouTuber who sits on here and just points everyone in the wrong direction. Zav Girl, I sit here and watched her the other night for a freaking hour in the same little spot on Google Earth, doing everything she could to find where this car was parked. Do you see me going, Zav, she's freaking wrong, da 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 da? No. Do you see her going, well, I mean, fucking, he must be on drugs?
GoFundMe thing I think was weird at first till I think it got broke down a little bit better, but I'm still not sure. But I think it's interesting that it came out after he put it on his video. I'm just gonna say that technically it wasn't a reward fund.
These are the people I want to watch. Anyway, moving on with the video. There's two things I want to say. One, even criminals report crimes. And also, sometimes when you question something and there is no answer, the answer is there's no answer. Sometimes the victim looks so much like a victim, and everyone is claiming that this is a victim, that the people looking for who hurt the victim are going on a wild goose chase without looking at the victim. So with that being said, everyone telling me I should be ashamed of myself. How dare you say that, oh, this is faked? Show me that it's real. Show me proof of Kylie Rodney. Show me proof of Sammy Smith. Show me proof of Mag. Show me proof of those people. Show me proof of those people. Show me proof of Ronnie. Why don't you try chasing down who Zanime is or Ikmel? You can't tell me who any of those people are. You're not gonna find shit. Now look, I do see the dumb people comments. I don't really comment back to them that much because they're dumb people. I see the comment where people's like, oh, what are you, Alex Jones? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? If you're asking me if I'm another person, the answer is no. I'm Ryan Upchurch. If you're asking me, is this a war on information? I'm going to say yes. Because misleading information is what is letting these people get away. I mean, if you want to sit in the comments and make Alex Jones jokes, I mean, go for it. You're welcome to do what you want in the comments. But here we're talking about facts. And the fact of the matter is, GoFundMe is a fucked up business to individuals who use it like fucked up people. But do you realize that you can be a millionaire on GoFundMe by catfishing people with internet deaths? You could do it fast as fuck. Look at the Kylie Rodney GoFundMe. It's made $63,000 in the past 7 days. That's one GoFundMe for Kylie Rodney. If you have 5 GoFundMes for each individual person that you catfish fake a death with, all you need is 3 people. 3 people, 3 viral stories. You're a millionaire in 2 weeks.
I don't think you'd get away with it. Do you guys think you'd get away with it?
If you have 5 GoFundMes for each individual person that you catfish fake a death with, all you need is 3 people.
Wait. Oh, I got. So, see, even when I play this back, it's hard. Now, this is only like a 10th. What might be, I can't remember. I marked it. It might be more than a 10th. It might be a 4th or something. But anyway, every time I watch it, I have to stop and ask questions like out loud, like I want to scream. Like, you're going to go to fucking GoFundMe and tell them 5 fake people are dead, and you're going to start 5 fucking fake GoFundMes and get away with it. Okay, then. Yes, sir. I don't know how much is left, but man. Phew. very, very strange. This stuff.
Managers and everything. We're not hearing nothing back, fam.
What do you mean? Wait,
Look
wait,
at the
wait,
press
wait, wait.
contacted their.
Yeah.
What I said. If they did, that I put a cut of the money. Explain that. That.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't know how that happened. Like a glitch.
But you see how I just said that and explained that? That will be taken and interpreted by people who are in on the scheme that are getting a cut of the money.
If you say you can't scam GoFundMe, you must
AWP knows that I put the Hellcat up. I ain't heard from them. AWP knows what I said if they didn't want the Hellcat, which I still am going to donate to them. We've contacted their managers and everything. We're not hearing nothing back, fam.
But yet you can call a guy that has a guitar a bunch of times.
Look at the press conferences. Everything's fucked up for a reason. You have to put all those pieces together.
Because they're bumbling police
Because what I just told you
had no training.
Is the most plausible explanation that I could think of right now. If not, show me proof of the party.
But do you have proof that the party didn't exist?
It doesn't matter. If it doesn't exist, it didn't happen. You can't just make a party happen.
But do you have proof?
No, you don't understand.
Just like I don't have proof the party existed, and then you don't.
Okay. How you doing, man? I just can't, it's hard for me to watch it. It's about another 30 minutes maybe with just one-liners that just go south from there. I mean, they go south bad. I mean, that's like the mild stuff. It really is hard to watch. Just in case anybody forgot, in Crack Squad, in case you forgot how we got here, there's just a little tiny taste of how we got here. We're gonna make 5 fake GoFundMes with 5 fake dead people. And nobody's going to notice that's what we're doing. And we're going to get about 800 people to go along with us, and no one's going to tell. And we're going to steal some money from GoFundMe. Whew. Okay. So I think what an interesting afternoon. I mean, I must be the fucking most incredibly slick ass hardcore criminal in the world. I mean, if I am guilty of everything Crack Squad says I'm guilty of, and I can still own a couple homes and some rental properties and a 2022 Jeep and fucking 800 horsepower fucking 1-ton truck and 2 Harleys and a handful of fucking dirt bikes and fucking 69 MG and a 72 Barracuda, and I can own all this fucking shit and fucking work on people's Corvettes and get $20,000 lines of credit and fucking go to auctions and buy fucking 10 grand worth of fucking audio equipment and shit, and just I must be one fucking slick ass son of a bitch. Thanks for the compliment. Thanks for the compliment, Crack Squad. I'd like to see one. I'd like all you guys get away with that and live like I live. Fucking imbeciles. You know what I got? I got a feeling, honestly. The town I grew up in, my last name is like Smith. Okay. It'd be the equivalent of having the last name of Smith or Jones. I think there's like 8 people within a 5-year age range of me with the exact same name. Exact. First, middle, and last. Because it's a Catholic town and those are Catholic names. And there's a Jim Shonk the barber. There's a Jim Shonk the pharmacist. There's a Jim Shonk the attorney. There's a Jim Shonk the doctor. There's a Jim Shonk a chiropractor. There is a Jim Shonk that owns a used car lot. There is a Jim Shonk that owns a body shop. There's a Jim Shonk that owns a frame, collision, and glass shop. No relation. None. No relation to me at all. There are 4 women with the same last name as my ex-wife. 4 that I know of with the same first, middle, and last. So I got a feeling these fucking crackheads are fucking with somebody else's shit. That's the only thing, because I just can't imagine people can just make stuff up like that. So they're obviously reading something somewhere. But yeah, so I guess now I bounced so many checks, it was a felony. I had to go to jail for it. I'll have you know, Crack Squad, I've never bounced a check in my goddamn life. And I wouldn't either. I'm not a fucking lowlife like that. Like I said, you motherfuckers that are out there slandering, just hope to God I don't know who you are, and you're the one I want to make an example out of. Because it sure as fuck is slander, and it sure as fuck is chargeable, and you sure as fuck can be sued for it. Even I can just fuck with you enough where I can just pay the filing fee and make you have to respond to it, which is cost you $250 minimum. Minimum. So have at it. Have at it. Have at it fucking again with the wrong person. You guys have messed with the wrong people constantly in this. And I got a feeling that's what you're doing right now. You're reading somebody else's shit or something. I mean, to think that a person could be a 3-time registered sex offender and have custody of minor children that don't belong to them, that aren't their natural blood. You guys have got to be, I mean, you got to be retarded. Just absolutely fucking retarded. That's the only thing I can imagine. It's just you're retarded. Okay, you're just fucking retarded. And if you think you're embarrassing me, talk about I would go file a Chapter 13 protection after going into the fucking hospital and dealing with a bone marrow transplant, where I was fucking bedridden for between the time I was in the hospital and the time I got back on my feet was 14 months before I could even fucking walk around. So fuck you. Couldn't none of you bounce back the way I did. It'd have killed your fucking little weakling asses. Sissies. All of you. Little twerps. Slap around like little girls. Got old Uncle Will so flustered he's showing off the goddamn company's bank deposit. I know he'd get fired for that shit. Taking their goddamn bank deposit and making a video out of it. Let me tell you something, Crack. I'll let you in on a secret. Okay. And I guarantee you can write this in stone. This is just fucking for sure. Nobody that has money will ever show you their money. If they actually do have money, they'll never show it to you. They'll never walk around with it in their pocket or anything. Because once you're there, you don't have anything to prove. So trust me, nobody with money is going to walk around with it and make videos of it and show it to people. That's just infantile shit that somebody would do when they're around money they've never had that much of before. Like a company's fucking daily deposit. It was probably 2 days worth of deposit. You know, I sent see, Uncle Will, he's the shop bitch. Okay. When you're the tire buster, you're the bitch. Okay. When there's no work coming in, like if there isn't somebody calling with a flat tire and you're on the clock, they have you take the trash out, sweep the floor, run the deposit down to the bank, you know, go get the manager lunch, you know, go take the manager's car down and wash it. You know, I used to have my tire buster take my car down and wash it, and take my wife's car down and wash it. I even had him go to my house and mow my grass a couple times. My tire buster. But no, the guy that busted tires for me the last time, you know, the road service tire buster. Okay, he was a 19-year-old kid. Well, he now is the manager of that very store and owns a home just up the street. And he's only been there 6 years, 6 years. I don't know, Uncle Will. You got to reach up there and get a hold of rung 3. Okay, Uncle Will. You got to reach up and get a hold of rung 3 on that ladder and pull like a motherfucker. Okay, leave your pot in the car when you get there. Leave your phone in the car when you get there. Okay, come in all chipper and bright-eyed and bushy. Okay, don't tell any bullshit stories. Be very serious about everything you say and try to be as professional and speak as clearly. Don't use baby talk and baby words and stuff and like cut words off short like you're ghetto or something. Don't do any of that. Okay. And then you won't have to reach for rung 3 and pull yourself up. Rung 3 will come down to you. Nice and slow. And then you'll just be able to step right on it naturally. But you got to do those things first, Will. You got to leave your phone in the car, leave your pot in the car, okay? Leave your bullshit stories at home, okay? Take a shower in the morning. Comb your fucking hair, brush your fucking teeth, comb your beard out, okay? Put a belt on, tighten it. Make sure your fucking shoes are both tied. None of this shit with your strings hanging loose and stuff, okay? Come in the morning, okay? Don't use any baby talk. Don't use any ghetto talk. None of that. Speak clear. And rung 3 will come right down to you. And you'll be able to just step over onto it. Move up. And you won't be a tire buster anymore. You'll be like an entry-level mechanic maybe. And then, you keep using that advice I just gave you. And in about 2 years, rung 4 will come down to you. You won't have to reach for it and grab. Just advice. I'm only telling you that because I kind of like you. How we doing, man?
Doing good. It's funny you bring up that that's probably money from the business because my dad runs a golf course and I have to do those exact same runs. And that's exactly what it looks like.
Well,
and if
yeah,
I
that's
wanted
exactly
to post
what
it,
was.
to flex, like that's
Mhm.
exactly what it would look like,
Yeah, you have to band it. It has to be banded and put in order. And then the deposit slip, when you fill the deposit slip out for that, you got to list exactly how many hundreds you have, exactly how many 50s, exactly how many 20, you know what I mean?
And wealthy
So,
people don't withdraw that much money at a time just to prove a point to psychobabble rap
no,
online.
no shit.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
there you go.
It really wasn't that much. It was probably about $4,000.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't even do that hard of a look, but even that, it's just like, why would you go to that length if you're trying to prove that you're
right.
wealthy just to prove a point you
And
withdraw money? Like,
that wouldn't prove you're wealthy.
that's tough.
You'd need a bigger bag than that.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
Uncle
was kind of
Will,
sad.
I hate to tell you, Uncle Will, but there are people out there your age that's a week's pay. What you had right there. And that's no shit. That's like a week's pay. But yeah, I used to have to send my hourly guy down to do the deposit twice a day. If we had over 10 grand, if the drawer took in over 10 grand, it had to be taken down to the bank because, they didn't want you getting robbed for more than 10 grand. And speaking of which, I did. We got robbed a couple of times. I ran a store in Bexley, which is a pretty rough neighborhood. I mean, we had prostitutes standing on the corner in front of the store. And in fact, I'll tell you a funny story about Jason. Okay. There was this great big black tranny. Okay. This dude was probably 6'4", 260 pounds. And he'd come out there wearing a blue bikini and with pantyhose on and high heels and a wig. And he'd stand out there on that corner and prostitute. And there were dudes that would stop and pick him up. Okay. And about the third day that Jason worked for me, I had him go out and weed whack the curb with our weed whacker. And every time you'd be outside, this trainee dude would come over and like bum cigarettes off of you and shit. You know, like anybody out there, he'd hit him up for a cigarette. And I seen old Jason come around the corner with that fucking weed whacker. I thought, oh no, somebody's going to ask him for a cigarette. He's going to jump out of his skin. So I hollered at the other guys. I said, hey, come here, look. Old Jason come around the corner with that weed whacker, and sure as hell, man, the tranny dude tapped him on the shoulder, and old Jason turned around. I thought he was going to fucking jump out of his skin. It was hilarious. I mean,
That's what a big black tranny will do to you.
And he had these great big fake boobs that, like, I don't know, they kind of look like skin color. You know,
jeez, man, this was right before OnlyFans, probably too. She just missed out on that bag.
This would have been 2004. 2005.
Oh, okay. Early internet.
Yeah. And there was a couple tranny prostitutes out there then, and then a couple regular prostitutes, and they typically had sores on them. So, you wouldn't want to mess with them at all.
So you got robbed?
Yeah. A couple times. Once, a girl pulled up in the parking lot, and she was in a van, and she's got a little kid with her that she's carrying, like a 2-year-old. And she's crying, and she says she has a flat tire. She don't know what to do, and blah, blah, blah. And I was in a good mood. So I just told one of my dudes, hey, pull this thing around here and fix the tire real quick for her, will you please? So I believe it was actually Jason, but took it around there, and he puts it up on the lift. Okay. And I'm sitting there talking to him, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw the movement of somebody. And I looked, and she had reached over the counter and snatched a fucking deposit off the back of the cash register and took off out the door with it. And I caught her. I came around the side of the building and stopped her right in front of her. I said, just fucking give it back. I saw you. I said, and I won't call the cops. And she's like arguing with me that she didn't take it. And I said, honey, I saw you. If don't make me call the police on you. Just don't. I don't want to do that. And she's just, just trying to talk her way out of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, she just bolts and drops the deposit, but ran. And I pick it up, take it back in there, and I'm going, well, fuck, she left her van here. Surely she's going to come back after it. So we waited and waited and waited. And pretty soon, here comes a police officer, pulls in the front. And he says, hey, you haven't seen a girl with a baby, have you? And I said, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, her van's right there. He said, yeah, we're looking for it. It's stolen. The fucking van was stolen. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a rough neighborhood.
God damn, man. It's tough when people use their kids like kindness for weakness shit. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, she just about got us on that one. And then I did get actually physically robbed at gunpoint. Well, I was closing, and same store. And in the back, there's a big metal door where we could receive deliveries and shit. And it had a great big iron crossbar. You'd pull it closed and put this big iron crossbar on it so it couldn't be opened. And the crossbar leaned right against the wall. And this dude, I walked back there to lock it. And just as I came around the corner, he stepped in, man, and he was a big son of a bitch. I mean, this guy was fucking big. And his eyes were all bugged out. And he was like, you could tell he was like just full of adrenaline. So I knew he was going to try to hurt me or rob me. So I grabbed that metal bar and just fucking clocked him just as hard, like I was hitting a base, just like I was going to hit a baseball. I mean, I didn't hesitate. I just swung with that fucker as hard as I could.
Like that video you posted this morning, you just knocking out everybody.
I just literally, it scared me so bad that I knew this guy's going to try to hurt me, and it knocked him out. And I called the police. And called 911 at the same time. I called the cops and called 911. The Bexley Police Department was just like 500, 800 feet up. So we had their direct line, And police come and shit, and they're telling me, yeah, it's a good thing you did that, because that guy is wanted, man, for attempted murder and assault and all kind of shit, man. Yeah, he was going to hurt me. I know he was.
Damn, that must have been one of your last days on the job, right? You're like, fuck this gig.
No. I had only been at that store a couple of months when that happened.
Damn.
And then we had I had tire racks, great big fucking tire racks that we would shove outside. So they wanted to put as much inventory in those stores as they could put in them. Okay. So in order to do that, they would have all these big rolling tire racks that would be full of tires, and you'd put them in the bays at night and push them outside during the day so you could work. And I had one of them big ass tire racks sitting out there. This dude comes up and just starts fucking pushing it down the alley. And I'm telling my guys, I said, look at this dumb son of a bitch. And he pushes it all the fucking way down to the end of the alley. So I get in the fucking company truck and I go down and pull in front of him way down at the end of the alley. I said, now you push that son of a bitch right back up there where you got it, or I'm calling the cops. I said, if you push it back up there, I'll let you slide. But if you take off and run and make me push it back, I'm calling the police. Fucker took off running. I called the police. They arrested him.
They all
It's like-
do. They all start
It's
running.
like, man, I gave you a chance to just put it back, you know? But I'll tell you one of the worst things that happened. Really, really fucking got under my skin. Okay. This was at another store that was in a very, very busy strip mall. And this store was hopping 1,500 cars a month run through that thing. Well, out in front, it's 6 lanes across on both ways, and traffic gets very congested around noon on the weekends. And it was a Saturday, the weekend before Christmas, and fucking traffic was just obliterated out there. Well, I see this black lady, and she's sitting in the middle of the intersection, halfway around the turn, and the car's not starting. The fucking people are like trying to go around her and shit. And nobody's helping her. So I sent my guys out there to push her onto the lot, you know, and told her, come on. She had a little kid with her. She was all upset. I said, well, just come in, sit down for a minute, get warmed up, you know, get you something to drink. You need to call somebody. What you need to do. And she gives me this big fucking sob story. Christmas shopping, ain't got no money, you know, she's taking care of her grandkid and all that. So I had the guys look at it to see, can you get it running enough to get her home or something? So it turns out the ignition tumbler broke off down in the bottom of the steering column, and it was catching the steering wheel when you try to turn. And that's why she stopped. Well, then when she shut it off, it wouldn't restart because that piece was broke. So I had the guys pull that broken piece out of there and put a push button start on it. Okay. And told her, I went ahead and ordered you a new piece, but it ain't going to be here till well after Christmas. Probably take 2 weeks to get it. And you just, you know, come back in a couple weeks and we'll put it on, and you can run it like this and get you home. And she's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Away she went. So fast forward 2 weeks goes by. And she comes in there on a Saturday again, our busiest fucking day. And she says, you'll get that part. And I said, yeah, it's here. She goes, well, I need to get that on there. You know, I'm going on vacation, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, if you're going to wait, I can't guarantee you how long it'll take today. We're damn busy today. I'll wait, she says. So, and that was the deal I made her was, if you just, you know, pay the labor, we'll put the part on for you, but just, you got to pay my guy a little something, you know? So she sat there about an hour, and there were people there that had been there over an hour before she got there. Next thing you know, she says to me, she says, my son's going to call you. I said, okay. I said, hey, you don't want to ride home or anything, do you? Because I was just getting ready to send the technician for parts. I thought, well, fuck, he can take her home. No. Next thing you know, her son calls me. Why haven't you got her in yet? I said, well, we're damn busy today, buddy. You picked a bad day to get it put on. Got to take people as we get them, you know. It's because she's black, isn't it? I said, what did you say to me? He says, because she's black. I said, tell you what, we're just not going to be able to get to it today at all. Man, I slammed that fucking phone down. I walked out there and I looked at that lady and I said, how goddamn racist was I when I pushed your fucking car off the street and put a fucking push button start on it and didn't charge you a dime so you could get home the night before fucking Christmas? But now that I can't get to you the instant you want it, I'm a goddamn racist. I said, you get your part and get the fuck out of here and don't you ever come back. I mean, I just thought the nerve.
Yeah.
I mean, just the nerve of that, man. And it
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
tough. Bringing race
wow,
into it like
oh man,
that.
that got
God.
under my skin bad, man.
Right.
You know, I ran stores in Mississippi, man. Every customer I had was black. You know, every customer was. It was like, Jesus,
Right.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, where did that take place? Where was that at?
That was in Canal Winchester, Ohio.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know much about that area.
Yeah, ProCare store in Canal Winchester, Ohio. It's a mixed race community, middle class. And this lady wasn't poor by any stretch. You know, she lived in an upper scale neighborhood. So,
Wow.
you know, it's just like she just like acted like, because I couldn't get to her right away, it had to be because she was black. And that really set her bad with me, man. I thought, man,
Yeah.
I don't
People
even
just
want to
have
work
like
on
a
your
weird
car
sense
now.
of
Just
entitlement.
get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't care what color my skin was when I was pushing your shit off the street and putting parts and shit on it.
Right. Yeah, that's wild. I could not handle that. I would have told them to get the fuck out just like you did.
Mm-hmm. And I had dudes in Mississippi. I had a white dude. Okay. I hadn't been down there very long, maybe 6 months. And man, it was in there a pretty busy day. And this dude comes in there. He had an appointment, and I give his work order to one of my technicians, a guy named Greg, black guy, pretty damn good mechanic. And that guy says, "You ain't gonna let that son bitch work on my car, are you?" I said, "No, we're not. You're right. Ain't nobody working on your shit." And he back his keys. I said, "Get out of here, man."
Yeah,
I just can't believe there's people that way, you know. I thought,
Right.
buddy, you don't have any idea. That guy's a hell of a mechanic, you know. He's fucking do a perfect job and probably go above and beyond.
That's
yeah.
tough. People are so ignorant.
There's still a lot of racism in the South for sure.
For
There's
sure.
still a lot. It's sad to see.
Yeah, it makes sense though. You know, cousin fucking and, you know, racism go hand in hand.
Yeah. Can we jump to the yelling and anger? Well, I don't know. There, Dev. Say a bunch of stupid shit and slander a bunch of people. Maybe I will. You know, I mean, not my fault you grew up with no father figure in the home. Don't fucking blame me. That's your mom's fault. Coming to a theater near you. Oh, he hasn't been. I guess maybe they're taking bets. What's he talking about? I don't even know. What are you talking about? He says, someone should send Babel that video where Johnny shows and plays the entire conversation he had about his kids with his wife on YouTube. Kids with his wife on YouTube. I don't know what you're talking about. My wife's never been on YouTube ever. What the fuck you talking about, dude? And what do you guys all like? What do you guys do, man? Like eat fucking mushrooms and trip and shit and hallucinate? I mean, where do you guys come up with this crazy shit? Another dude was in here the other day swearing up and down I was on some live stream birthday party with Tony and somebody else. I thought, you know, dude, I don't know what you're on, but I don't know Tony well enough to attend his birthday party. I mean, I just don't. Man.
It's so funny this reality they live in where
I
they think
know.
that you're like their best friend and y'all are like going to barbecues and shit and plotting.
Yeah, because I said he's an adult. He's allowed to have an adult comedy show. Oh, you sticking up for him? You must be best friends.
Oh my.
And this, okay, all right. Yeah, okay. Mike Cable. All right. So, hey, Power Stroke. Power Stroke. Where you at? He thought Mike Cable was my sock account. He made a whole video insinuating that this Mike Cable guy right here was my sock account. And I said, well, I've never even talked to Mike Cable. Who's Mike Cable? Well, here's Mike Cable. Hey, dude, you're my sock account, according to Power Stroke. And when I told Power Stroke, I said, dude, you got me messed up. I don't know no Mike Cable. I said, I wouldn't even, why would I have a sock account when I'm not afraid to put my face on what I say? I'll say what I got to say right to your face. I think I've established that. Why would I need a sock account? A sock account are for cowards, people that want to say nasty shit and not own it. That's just why you have a sock account. I don't need one because, when you speak the fucking truth, you can put your face on it. But yeah, anyway, Mike, yeah, I hear you, bro. Thanks for your support. But yeah, you're supposed to be my sock account. So I don't know.
It's just weird how all of Crack Squad sounds the same. You know what I mean? Like,
and they're
all
never
they can
right.
say is, well, what are you doing different than Ryan Upchurch? You're doing the same thing, which is literally admitting that Ryan Upchurch is doing something fucked up.
It's like, you guys can't tell the difference between bullying a bully or bullying a bunch of innocent people that aren't even engaging with you. I don't see how you guys don't have the IQ level to decipher that. One is bullying a bully and saying it's wrong to bully people. Don't bully people. And then they do nasty shit to me. So, I threaten to do the same thing back to them. Just threaten. Don't actually do it, but just threaten to do it. Unlike them when they actually did do it. And they can't see the difference between that and just picking out some random person and trying to destroy their life from your 3 million subscriber platform. There's a big fucking difference, kids. Big difference. Of course, they'll never be able to understand that. It's probably just way too much shit to digest at one time. Here's what we would have to do to get Crack Squad to understand it. You would either have to make a porn movie, like act it out, all the scenes out in porn, like be nude and stuff. They might watch that, or make it like a Beavis and Butthead cartoon with a Minecraft video game playing in the background. And they might watch it and go, oh, I see there is a difference.
Right, narrated by Stone Dad.
There you go. Exactly.
By the way, Stone Dad's been relatively quiet.
Okay, one person is for right and the other people are doing a lot of wrong. Okay, it makes sense now. Golly, why did it take me so long to get it? But I can tell you, Crack Squad, in order to hurt someone's feelings or insult them, your insult has to be somewhat true, right? I mean, in order to be insulted by something, there has to be some smidget of truth to it. You running around talking about I'm bouncing checks is just hilarious, because let me tell you, this old boy ain't never bounced no fucking check, not one time in my life. So it doesn't bother me in a fucking least you say that shit. It's laughable. Just fucking laughable. And if you're reading that somewhere, then you got a hold of the wrong person. You better go tidy up your shit. Because I can tell you everything that's on my background. I got a fucking charge of a domestic violence because the accusation was I pushed her in the middle of a fucking divorce. When in reality, I was on an airplane on my way to Atlanta. And that's why it was thrown out, because it was a lie. The second charge is having sex with my wife in a public fucking park, and a goddamn game warden walked up on me. Of all things, a fucking game warden. And then an assault charge on a little cocksucker that killed a child with his car. And if I could do it over again, I would have gotten to him sooner, so I could have snuffed his life out before the cops got there. He exploded a child's body all over the side of my barn with his car. And then what else? That's it. Oh, and a Chapter 13 protection when I went in the hospital to get a fucking bone marrow transplant. So if you think I'm ashamed of any of that, Crack Squad, got to tell you something. I'm not. So bring it. If you see anything else, it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's either made up or you're reading the wrong thing. Just like the dumb shits in there saying the shit that, every one of them claimed that Zanime went on a podcast and said, called me all kinds of names and drugged me. And I mean, I know that's bullshit, just absolute, utter bullshit. And I said, oh, really? Give me the link. Guess how many links I got? None. Where's the links? I mean, you guys watched it. You should be able to find it again and just give me the link and I can go see it myself. You know why you're not giving me the link? Because I know why you're not giving me the link. Because it's a gross exaggeration of the facts. As usual. As usual. Says, yeah. Who was this? He said he just tried to pull the victim card on a live saying Psychobabble was running him down a few months ago. And the other guy said, we all were, and laughed his ass off at him. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. There was a hell of a lot more people than me, but I wasn't running Gobble down. I called him out for, I mean, you probably weren't there, hair dude. You know what that Johnny Gobble did? He he accused his own. Listen to this. Okay. You got to hear this. Him and his wife are divorced. Okay. And they have a child, a very bright young man. He was in the middle of graduating high school. Okay. Getting ready to go to his graduation. And Johnny Gobble hid in the bushes down by the road, waiting on his wife to drive by, because this particular road, she has to go up and down this particular road to function in the community they're in. In other words, you can't function in that community without going down that road. Okay. So he knew she'd be coming by there on her way home from work. He goes and hides in the bushes. Now, this is all to make a video. He just wants to make a video people will watch. He had been making videos for months where he would like go in the courthouse with his camera and like mouth off to the mayor, or mouth off to one of the county commissioners, or mouth off to the county prosecutor, right? And he'd record it.
So that's like the origin of him. That's how Ryan Upchurch got noticed.
Right. And he was doing the whole time he was trolling Ryan Upchurch. Every video he was tagging Ryan Upchurch. Every video he made, he tagged Ryan Upchurch, Ryan Upchurch, tag Ryan Upchurch. Every video. Okay. So he's trying to make this like sensational content, constantly. So he hides in the bushes by the road, knowing that his ex-wife's going to drive by on her way home from work. And the minute she drives by, he runs out into the street with his camera and says, I know you're driving by my house to stalk me. And she stops the car and she says, look, I'm getting ready to take your son to graduation. Why don't you, step up? And he says, you shouldn't let your son have sex with his sister. On camera. Says, accuses his son having sex with his
this is all stuff I think Johnny Gobble would say. I just didn't know Johnny Gobble had a kid this old. That's a fucking shock to me.
Yeah, the kid's graduating, getting ready to go to his graduation, and Johnny Gobble is screaming on the internet that he's having sex with his sister.
Oh my God. Imagine if that's your dad.
No kidding.
And they're saying you're a bad father. What the fuck?
Tell you, Johnny Gobble, those videos didn't go away, buddy, so don't even try it.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's fucked.
Them sons of bitches are written in stone. I'll bet you 100 people got copies of that video. Don't even try to backpedal out of it. Now, given all that, okay, now you understand the whole time, tag Ryan Upchurch, tag Ryan Upchurch, tag Ryan Upchurch, tag Ryan Upchurch, Ryan Upchurch this, Ryan Upchurch that. I don't think he made a video without mentioning Ryan Upchurch for almost 8 months. And then finally, Ryan Upchurch roasted him. He did his typical Ryan Upchurch comedy roasting, which was very entertaining. He's damn good at it. He really is. He's pretty good at it. So that energized Johnny. You know, now he's energized. He got Ryan's attention. So now he's energized. And he goes down to the courthouse to make another sensational video. He's going to go in there and chew out the deputy, or no, the city attorney. And he goes, and a guy named let's see, there's Mike Frazier, or there's Mike I'm going to screw it up, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, he knows all these people by name. He goes in the courthouse with his camera, and he gets into it with the guy, and the guy finally just jumps up out of his chair and says, "Look, you're a goddamn imbecile. Get the hell out of here, you idiot." And chases him out, right? And when he goes storming out, he shoulder checked a guy named Keith Frazier, which is the first verse of the song Keith Frazier. Okay. Go listen to the song Keith Frazier, and you'll, after I tell you this story, you'll hear that story in the song. Okay.
Gotcha.
So he shoulder checks this dude named Keith Frazier, and then goes and presses charges on Keith Frazier for assault, only he uploaded the video to the internet where he did it. And the county prosecutor saw it and nailed him with filing a false police report.
Right.
Okay.
Man.
So
Fucking hell.
now here's the good part. This bitch named Scammy Cammy, probably the sleaziest little thing on the internet. You know, she was like recording people and shit. I don't know the whole thing, but I can tell you she was doing some pretty underhanded stuff. And she kept claiming that she had documents proving that Johnny Gobble had molested his child. Okay. Since she says she went to family court and got him. Well, me being a foster parent, I know that that's impossible. Okay. You cannot get a child's records. I can't even do it. I can't even go to the courthouse and get records of a child I have custody of. It has to be a judge sign it, and I have to give them a specific reason why I want it and all that. So I know she didn't have this document she claimed she had. So I made a video and said, listen, you cannot be calling him a pedophile if you can't prove it. That's a terrible thing to say about somebody. And that video is even still up right now. Okay. He makes a video calling me a pedophile, and now he's going to sue me.
So when was all this stuff with Gobble going on? Like that most
last, like I would say, wait, what was it, guys? 8-9 months ago.
Oh, so fairly recent.
Listen.
Wow.
The Keith, you got to understand, Ryan's trolling this fucker hard. Okay. And as these events are playing out, they are ending up as lyrics and songs. And the whole time, Upchurch is popping songs out. Boom, boom, boom. Just fucking dumping these bangers out that are all about this shit going on with Gobble. And if you listen, the songs are good without knowing the context. Like you could go listen to the song right now and you would probably really dig it, even though you don't know the context. But once you know the context and you know those lyrics are actually telling a real story, it makes the song all that much better. And right. Keith Frazier is one of them. And if you go listen to that song and just listen to the lyrics, you can play that movie in your head. That shit actually happened.
Yeah, I like storytelling, rap, and stuff like that.
Upchurch went to Paintsville, Kentucky to fight him. And it was kind of a chicken shit thing. And it was all supposed to be in a boxing ring, you know, and like official boxing coach there and all that, right? At this gym. The only problem is Gobble had a restraining order. He wasn't allowed to go to that gym. So if he would have pulled in there, he would have gotten arrested. So of course he's not going to go there, right? But he did drive by. Okay, so Upchurch is outside the gym. There's a big crowd. Johnny Gobble drives by and honks the horn. The fucking cops got behind him, pulled him over.
Man.
But the song is, now listen, the song is, listen, the song starts out, I never shoulder checked Keith Frazier. That was a setup for the cops to come and get me later. I mean, that's how the song starts, man. Badass.
Man, yeah, that shit's crazy.
It is.
Man, so why did they have like a restraining order? Like, how the fuck did that
Because
get put in
he
place?
kept messing with this mayor. He was harassing the mayor of the town.
Oh
And,
shit!
and trying to he was trying to get a viral video. That was his goal. And he, so he would go downtown with a megaphone, okay, and like scream at him.
Alex Jones in it.
Yeah. And that's in the song, It's crazy, man. And then there's another song called F.U. Paintsville, Kentucky.
I think I've heard a part of that one. He did like a
it's so
YouTube
good, man.
shorts with it.
It's so good. It is. It's really good. And it was a fun troll. You see what I mean? Nobody got hurt, really. And Johnny was a willing participant, and he got a song. He got an album out of the deal, man. Who can say that Ryan Upchurch wrote 4 songs about him? I mean, who can say that? It's maybe a chick somewhere, but so Johnny Gobble, that's, to me, he can market that and make something out of that,
Yeah, for sure. It worked. It looked like it worked out for the both of them. It's too bad it branched out into this. This seems like something I would have been interested in.
Yeah.
Funny as shit.
Yeah, it was a pretty good troll, man. It was good, willing participants having a blast. How we doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good, man.
You're doing good with all the lawsuits coming your way?
Which one's that going to be?
Well, Stone Dad mostly.
But didn't he dox me first?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hold up. What's
on
with crack
stream
squat
in
in
your
their
closet,
lips?
dude? You dox people.
I only doxed the person that doxed me.
Either way, it's still illegal, just the same.
Okay, well, he can sue me, and then I'll countersue him, and we'll both have to leave with nothing.
What proof do you have, dude?
The video.
He never admitted it on stream?
Yeah, he did.
Not once.
Son, you better go back and look. I've got it fucking on fucking
You don't
live
have it fucking on
recorded.
stream. You're full of shit, dude.
Okay. Well, I'm
Where's
glad
his
you're sure.
$1,000?
I'm sure what I know what I have.
Where's his $1,000?
Okay, well, we'll pretend I don't have it. Now go ahead.
Where's his $1,000, dude?
What?
You said if you went to his stream, you'd give him $1,000.
Oh
You were there.
my God! No,
Hey,
don't
I'll
work
give him a
that
couple
way.
$100 if he took those
Listen,
stupid
Junior.
piercings out his
Junior?
fucking lip.
Junior, I want you to pay attention. Okay, listen. Okay, don't work that way. He insinuated that I appeared on his stream. I said, no, I didn't. Never appeared on no stream. I've never been on any. I was on Tony Dodd's, Popcorn Planet, and my own. I've never been, and Zav Girl. I've never been on anybody else's shit. And only one time on each of those. Okay. And he insinuated that I was on his stream, not just made a comment, you imbecile. No one's buying what you're selling, dude. Just quit it. It's so infantile. It's just infantile. It makes you look so small and so insignificant. I mean, I know you think it makes you look like a hard ass or something, but I believe me, I swear to you, the people listening see you as an imbecile. Anybody outside of the bubble you live in sees you as just an immature, just stupid person. How we doing? Damn, getting their stuff going, man. It's always messed up. How you doing, man?
All right, how you doing?
Good.
I was wondering, have you checked out that road that went by Gobble's house? He claims it's a one way in, one way out.
No, it's not. It's a main thoroughfare.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
been down it.
that video I saw, he said that he tried to have sex with his sister.
Well, he said it a lot of times. He said that his son tried to molest his little sister. That's what he said.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I just
and believe me, everybody thought it was horrible. I wasn't the only one. Everybody was shocked by it. I mean, what a terrible thing to say about your own kid.
Right.
And he can't deny it because we all still have the videos of him doing it. And he did it more than once. He did it like 3 times. When the kid was graduating. And then his son made video responses to it. There's just no denying it.
Sure.
And that road that goes by where Gobble lives, okay,
mhm.
there's those apartments set on a bit of a hill, and it's right off of Route 23 South, one block. And that's like if you're going to cut across to go like if you're on that side of town and you want to go to where any of the stores are, okay, like Walmart or the dollar store or any of that, you got to go that way. That's
Okay.
just the way you have to go. And you can clearly see in his videos, there's cars going by constantly.
Yeah.
You know,
If I could ever remember it, I'd
directions.
have Google mapped it, but I just figured it was easier to ask.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's you can't always believe Johnny. Johnny's been known to fib a time or two.
I don't know him personally or anything like that. I'm just, like I said, a bystander who's watched the videos from the start of all of it.
Yeah, and like I say, he was a willing participant in that troll for sure. He wanted that, which is there's a big difference, guys, in that and some person that doesn't even have a YouTube account, don't even have one, hasn't ever spoken to any of these people, and they're being trolled for 2 solid weeks by a bunch of men digging through all their personal business live on a live. That, dude can try to sue me. Kirk Burkhart, he can try to sue me all he wants. You're the one that doxed people, buddy. So if you want to talk about court, I'll gladly go, because guess what? I can say I want to countersue and it won't even cost me a dime. So I'll sit there and listen to you try to sell your story to the judge, and then I'll just play the videos of you doxing 4 people.
Yep.
And then that'll be the end of it. Just quit, dude. Own what you did, at least. I don't got to worry about you anyway, because I happen to know for certain you kids are going to be held accountable for that. And it's going to be a shock to you, because it's going to come from somebody you least expected.
So do you have to, in order to file that kind of stuff, do you have to do it in their county, or can you simply do it from where you're at?
With the new cyber laws, it's international.
So you go to any court and file, and it's good anywhere?
You file in the court town you live in.
Okay.
Yep. The new cyber laws that were passed in 2021.
Oh, wow.
California has the strictest. California now views cyber stalking and cyber bullying as a physical assault. It carries the same charge and the same weight, because people have been killed, by stalkers from the internet. And California has the strictest of all. But all of the Midwest signed on to that. Pretty much almost every state adopted it, or a version of it. So there are some states that are still pretty liberal, like Georgia. They're pretty liberal. There's another one they were talking about. It's hard to do in another state, but most of the other states, it's not hard at all. Not hard at all. People do it all the time. And there's a girl that comes on here a lot. She's talked about it. I can't remember the name, but I remember seeing it in the paper. And every time I try to think of the name of the channel, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember it. But it was a very similar troll to what was going on between Upchurch and Gobble, right? Only one of the dudes took it way too far and went to the guy's house and knocked on the door, and I don't know if he threw a glass of water in the guy's face. It was some silly thing. It kind of seemed harmless. He's in prison right now. He got 3 years. It was a YouTuber. If that trick's here, I wish you'd ring that out again. She was in here talking about the other night, and I can't remember who that was. And this was because of that new cyber law. This had happened prior to that law. Okay, this happened 2 years ago, but when they passed that law, he filed, took the guy to court. And then there's another one, that Onision. Go follow that case if you don't think people can be sued. But yeah, you can't go on your YouTube channel and slander the ever living shit out of a business or a person or attack someone's character if their real identity is known. That is the same as you like taking an ad out in the paper and slandering them in your own hometown. Now, if it's true, if what you're saying is true, there ain't a damn thing they can do about it. But if it's not true, you sure as hell can be held accountable, especially if your intention, if they can prove that your intention was to cause their business harm or affect their ability to make a living doing what they do, then it's really chargeable. So
How about most of the, like, you can look up court cases if you go to most of your jurisdiction's websites, and before they allow you on it, it tells you that that information can't be used for harassment or whatever if you agree to go on the site. So when people are doxing people,
that's not true. That's not true.
It's 100% true
If you
in my county.
Well, if you
For state of Virginia,
if you engage with somebody, it might be hard. But if you're not engaging at all, no problem.
what do you mean by engaging?
Well, like that 17-year-old girl named Callie.
No, I'm just talking about when you dox an adult's criminal background. I'm not talking about underage.
If it's true, that's not slander. You can do that.
But the
You guys
stipulations
want to post my criminal record, post it. I don't give a fuck.
The stipulations on the government website.
Not one damn thing.
But it says it's not to be used for harassment, things like that.
Well,
Doesn't have
to
to
harass somebody with it, but I don't care. I
don't know what you did.
I don't know why
I haven't
they
said you
think
did
I'm
anything.
ashamed of it.
I was asking a question.
I'm ashamed of going under Chapter 13 protection while I went in the hospital for a bone marrow transplant when I had a 6-figure income.
Where'd that come from? I simply was asking about people bringing up, and they looking at doxing people and bringing it up. I didn't say nothing about your case. I was saying the stipulations.
I'm not talking to you directly. I'm talking to crackhead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, when I go to look up if my kids have been in trouble or anything like that, it says at the end of it, and you agree to it, that information can't be used to harass anybody.
When you go get a copy, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and you do the same thing if you do a FOIA request. Like, let's say you're going to go to the courthouse and do a FOIA request on a Freedom of Information Act on a police report. They make you sign a waiver saying you're not going to use it to harass somebody.
So when everybody's doxing everybody and they are bringing up these criminal reports, how is that not valid?
That was my point. I was just about to get to. If you got someone's criminal record and all you did was read it online, probably not anything they can do about it. But if you are using it to impugn their character, and your intention is to impugn their character with it, you absolutely can be held accountable for that. And you signed a waiver stating that you would not use that to impugn somebody. It's literally the thing you agree to before you're allowed to download it or view it. You better go read it, kids. And I'm warning you right now, any of you, Crack Squad, I want you to fucking listen to me. Okay? You want to say anything about my criminal record that's true, you go right ahead. You got my permission. But if you're out there exaggerating or making up lies and saying that that's part of my criminal record and I know who you are or I can find out who you are, I can promise you I'm going to hold you accountable. I can afford to pay the $150 to file it. And that's all I got to do. I don't have to do anything else but just go down to the courthouse, file it, and then come back and go back to my normal life. And you will be forced to respond to it.
Can you have a charge
like
that?
No fucking choice but to respond to it. And what are you going to say? What are you going to say? What's your defense going to be? You won't
So
have
somebody did something when they were 18.
No shit.
That they don't have to register as a sex offender. Can they have it expunged off their record and the thing still be true?
I'm not I don't know about sex offender. I wouldn't have any idea. I've never been charged with no sex offender. I was charged with public indecency. The same thing you get charged with if you were outside peeing or something. I was naked having sex with my wife in a public park.
Which is awesome, by the way. So, I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't do that?
Man, shit, man. If you saw her fucking body, man, when we got married, God.
I've done it
damn.
once before. I just never got caught. So,
Honest to God, I thought. See, I got divorced. Okay, I was in an apartment for like a year. I wasn't going to date nobody, you know. I thought, I'm just going to work on myself for a while, you know, and just take care of me and my kids, and just not even get in a relationship. So probably a year went by before I ever even went on a date, and she started like pursuing me, and I was like, she had such a nice figure and shit, and was like, just like, you know, just so damn good looking. And I'm thinking, man, there's got to be a catch here, you know. When's the bomb going to drop? You know, is she a psycho, or is she married, or, you know, what? This can't just be like just normal, you know. This don't happen to me. I mean, that's the way I felt in the beginning. So hell yeah, man, we was having sex all the time. And yeah, we took a walk on a very early morning and walked down by the lake, and there was like nobody there. It was like kind of even still foggy out. And damned if that son bitch didn't walk right up on us, man. Yeah. And
Hey, that
it was
big JMMA down there that his comments posted.
And it was 22 years ago.
He's saying Gobble. Everybody's claiming Gobble said rape. At no point in time did he ever say rape.
I don't care what he said, man. Because
Right, but that guy down there just commented that, but he never said rape.
I didn't watch his video. I don't know what he said. I just know that
how'd you know all the details
title
of it?
alone is slander. It's just the title of the video is slander.
Oh. I mean, you know, he jumped out of the bushes and all that. How did you know all that without watching the video?
He filmed it and put it on the internet.
You said you didn't watch it.
No, I'm talking about this video he just made. I thought that's.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what he's talking about. He just made a video about me, I guess, talking about my dead kid and saying I was a pedophile. And
well, that's not cool.
People told me. I haven't seen it.
That's not cool. But like I said, I mean, he never said the rape word that I ever remember.
No, he said
having sex.
Your son needs to quit trying to have sleep with his sister.
There you go. That's what I remember it as.
Verbatim.
The rape word takes it to another level.
Then when people were calling him out for it, he said it again. Then he said it again on live. And we have all three of them, Johnny. All three. Yeah, I could play it right now.
Go ahead.
You said it. So just quit. And I ain't the only one that saw you do it. For God's sakes, dude. But yeah, why I was laughing at him talking about suing me is he just made a video saying I was a pedophile and shit, I guess. And then you're going to threaten to sue me for saying something that's true?
So they're all saying that because you got caught naked with your wife.
Well, I don't care. That don't make me a pedophile.
But no, I was asking, is that why they're based on?
I don't know where they would get that from. Oh. Where does Crack Squad get any of their gross exaggeration and lies from?
Late night drugs.
I haven't seen them say one thing that's true yet. Not one thing. Everything they say is either grossly exaggerated or completely made up.
Gobble always
good questions here. Comment. Mad Mountain says Babble shit won't do shit. He all about writing checks that his ass can't cash. Seriously, dude. He threatens other people. Then he gonna come on here while I come down to talking. He the tough life. For fuck's sakes. By God. That Mad Mountain had that to say.
That's a tactic.
John Holbrook. There's the name we were looking for. John Holbrook. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Him in the gym.
Yeah. John Holbrook. He was harassing John Holbrook. Let's see if there's any more good questions. Okay, says Heather says a couple hours ago, Gobble posted a picture of Psychobabble and said those are the eyes of an opioid. Oh my God, man! No, those are the eyes of somebody with fucking pretty nasty cataracts that got to be cut out in 6 more days. Glass lenses put in. That's what that is. Let me tell you something, Johnny. You go get you some chemo and watch how it grays your fucking retinas over. Fucking shit fucks you up, man. Yeah, I got some pictures of me when I was like completely emaciated. 128 pounds. Down from 230. Fucking rib cage. I mean, I looked like a skeleton with some pantyhose stretched over it. What I looked like. You could see my entire fucking rib cage, see my whole fucking bones in my legs. You could see the bones in my arms. You could see the bones in my hips. And I was like purple and fucking jaundice as fuck and just, yeah, pretty bad. See, when they do the bone marrow, kids, okay, they have to take all your blood out. They take all the blood out of your body, and for a minute, you're living on life support. And then they radiate your blood. Then they put that shit back in. And all your fucking immune, your white and red cells are dead. And you have to grow all new ones. And the best way I can describe it, it's like you start out as like this wilted flower that's almost dead. And then, you know, each day you kind of come a little bit more back and a little bit more back. And over about 18, it took me about 14 months to get where I was wanting to go outside and shit and like walk around. And then almost 2 years before I was ready to go back to work. And yeah, when you get that bone marrow transplant, they kill all your shit, man. You're just like starting over fresh. You have no immune system. And you can't be going outside, you know, and shit. You got to wear a face mask. And, you know, it sucks, man. Yeah, it sucks. And if you want to fucking feel something that hurts, get a bone marrow biopsy. That's where they take a hammer and a chisel and bust some chunks out of your fucking bone marrow so they can biopsy it. Your bone marrow is in the center of your bones, kids.
They don't knock you out for that?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. But still, when you wake up, man, you're Jesus.
Yeah, no, I had a friend back in high school. She I mean, she went through the same thing. I'm not sure exact cancer she had, but I know she had a bone marrow transplant. She held on as long as she could, but died at the age of 22.
Yeah. A lot of people don't survive it. Yeah.
Hey,
A lot of people.
She just couldn't fight it any longer, and she did.
Yeah. Well, what probably killed her wasn't the bone marrow. It was the she probably got sick. Her immune system was weak.
Yeah.
And she probably got sick of a flu or common cold, and that'll kill you. Yeah. I saw a lot of death up there at the James Cancer Center. You know, you'd go in, like when I went in, there were people there I saw there with their families and stuff, right? But then you don't see them anymore, and you know, and they didn't make it, you know. I saw a lot of that shit. A lot of young kids, pretty frightening. Shittiest thing. I was anemic when I was really, really young. I was anemic, and I had to get platelets to bring my white blood cell count up to something normal. And they think the plastic containers that shit was stored in was cancerous. That's where they figure it originated from. The strain I had anyway. Yeah. And that's why they had such a hard time figuring it out. They couldn't figure out what it was. And so until they could figure out what it was, they didn't know how to treat it. So they were just giving me pain medication and, you know, trying to figure out what it was. And then they finally figured it out. And as soon as I started the treatment, I started feeling better, like right away. I mean, right away. Within weeks, I started noticing a difference, you know. And then when I went in to get the bone marrow transplant, I was in pretty good shape, health wise. So that's probably why I recovered, because I was pretty strong when they took it out.
So what was the worst prognosis you were given? Was it like, hey, you got 3 months to live if you don't?
No, they didn't tell me any of that. I was, I'll tell you, I had a hell of a time because I kept feeling bad and I knew something was wrong. And I was losing weight like a son of a bitch. Okay. I mean, I was just dropping weight like crazy. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, hell, I'll go to the emergency room. They'll take one look at me and admit me, That's what I thought.
Hey,
So
babe.
I took my 2-week vacation and I go to OSU in Columbus.
Right.
I go in the emergency room, tell them, hey man, got this pain in my leg. My legs feel like they're in a vice. I'm losing weight like a son of a gun. I feel really bad. Something's going on. Can you guys take a look at me? Blah, blah, blah. I sat back there in the emergency room for like 20. My wife parked the car. And by the time she parked the car and came in, here comes this doctor. And he's got this letter, like this form letter in his hand. And he says to me, the emergency room's no place to come for pain medication.
Wow.
I never even asked for any.
Wow.
I mean, I just said, check me, And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you just maybe need to see your family doctor and blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, something's going on. He goes, well, there's just nothing we can do.
Yeah.
And so I leave, man. And I was so weak that day. I barely made it to my car. And
Hey, Psycho.
You. What's happening, man?
Sorry to cut you off, brother.
That's okay.
I'm pretty sure that Johnny deleted that video of when he said that shit.
Yeah.
Because he says he's gonna legally sue you. Just letting you know.
We have
I
the
just
video.
saw the video now.
We have it.
So that dude couldn't see his
he
way
thinks
out
there's
of
no
a paper
receipts
bag.
to it. But if you look, he just posted a video like it says for me 6 hours ago. I just saw. I was like calling you out, saying I never said those things. I'm gonna hit you legally. So,
hey Johnny, do you want my address? Do you know where to send it? Hey Johnny, email psychobabblerap@gmail.com, and I'll give you the address where to send it to. I'm serious. I'll give you my home address. That's how confident I am. If you were to step anywhere near a courtroom trying to sue somebody for slander, you'd get laughed out of the
it was when he was
place.
hiding in that bush and his wife came out of the car or some shit like that, and he said it.
Yeah,
I remember that video very vividly.
Yeah, I have it. I have the video.
Oh, the dude. Oh my god.
I have the video. I have it.
Johnny Gobble's the type of dude that farts in the bathtub and tries to eat the bubbles.
Like I guarantee you, he didn't think that nobody.
Hey,
he probably
I
thought
of a
nobody
good one
downloaded
today.
that shit.
Uncle Will's the type of guy that never leaves a tip. What do you want to bet? He's one of them dudes that eats at a restaurant and he never leaves a tip. I'll bet he's never left a tip in his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made a whole 8-minute video on you saying he's coming for you. So I thought I'd let you know, and he added you too.
Yeah, that's fine. He can do that. Tell him to just email me, and I'll give him the address, and he won't have to bark at the internet about it.
How's he going to afford a
I
lawyer?
don't speak to that prick. So, but I wanted you to have that heads up that he probably deleted it, because if he's talking confident like that.
Says. I absolutely, after watching that, just watching him change positions like a fucking weather vane.
He's a snake.
Yeah,
he's a snake is what he is.
Yeah. No.
He's gonna go to the side that's gonna get him the most attention, right? So Ryan Upchurch is that side for him right now, and he's doing pretty well off of it too. He's probably making some bank right now.
Yeah. Danielle says her son. She said, "Sorry to hear that. My son had to go through chemo." and stem cell transplants and stuff for brain cancer.
All right, I'm heading out.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, go back
Appreciate
to
it. And he just turned 6.
So I
It's an awful thing.
wanted to give you a heads up, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. But honestly, I don't care what he does. I really don't. It's just background noise. He's harmless. He's like a doper dad. It's just all growl and no bite.
Yeah, I invited Power Stroke over here. I was like, come answer for all your BS.
Here's the thing. Here's what I can say with absolute certainty. And I know they think it's funny and they're laughing. They're going tee hee 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 hee.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. We're all going to have the last laugh.
Yeah.
Just know that. Just know.
I have no doubt.
Because I heard the conversation. And they absolutely are going to be held accountable by some people that can more than afford to do it.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, when this all really does come to a climax, they'll be like, oh my God, how did this happen? Why is this happening? They'll never be able to fucking figure it out. And, then of course they'll blame you, whatever, and all this, but they'll never come to the point of accepting responsibility for their own actions. Ever.
Yeah. No doubt. Hey, so Miss Fracture wants to know what I did to my foster kids. Well, Ronnie is in his last year at a tech university in northern Wisconsin. Another foster kid, I just co-signed for him to get a truck, and he's working at a factory in where did he tell me that was at? I can't remember the name of it now, but anyway, he's working at a factory making okay money, not like good money, but okay money, and he's been there for a year and a half, and he saved up almost the whole amount of down payment, which was like $8,000. And so I trusted him enough. I co-signed for him to get a truck. My 8-year-old special needs foster kid, he's taken a class after school, a speech class, and we just got him this. It looks like a laptop, and it's got all the words in the English language on it, and it can sort of recognize what he wants to say. And it'll pop up on the screen so he can communicate. And then, of course, my 10-year-old's not my foster kid anymore. I adopted him. I have full custody of him. Is there any other questions you would like, or just wondering? Okay, it says Johnny was right. The R word is something you should not have said. Publicly apologize. Well, who said anything about rape? What are you talking about? What? Are you guys all like taking the same drugs or something?
Yeah, it got to be. That's their tactic. They're like, they take you.
Where in the world did anybody say anything about rape?
Never.
Yeah, there was a person that commented earlier down at the bottom that used that word.
Oh, yeah. It's like, what?
So that could be what they're talking about.
Maybe so. Could be. Yeah. But you know how they tend to exaggerate.
Yeah.
They tend to try to turn sarcastic comedy into a literal statement.
Or they'll try to take you away from the original debate on what they were, what the argument was about, and they try to go way in left field.
Well, it's because they can't argue.
Exactly. No
they
facts.
They can just throw insults and make personal attacks. There's no argument to have. How do you argue that Santa Claus is real?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and that's what they want to do. That's the story, that Santa Claus went and down every chimney in America in one night and put a present under the tree for every kid. And that's the story you guys want to believe because Ryan Upchurch said so.
So
and you're just imbeciles for it. You're imbeciles.
The Power Stroke thing, did he really get a free truck, or was that a joke?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
For what?
It's gonna what makes it now. Let me tell you something. I just got to say it since you brought that up. The guitar guy spent the whole weekend with Ryan and got a signed Martin guitar from Ryan. He took it home and put it in a display case and never said a word to nobody. Never said a word to nobody. He privately, very privately, sent Ryan a message saying, hey, would you be interested in holding an auction for this to raise charity? And that way another fan could maybe end up with it and we could do this cool charity thing for the hospital that helped my kids. And he got no response. So he put it right back in the display case and never mentioned it again. It's been over a year almost. So Power Stroke owned his gift 10 minutes and had a whole storybook on Instagram bragging, look what I got. And then they try to attack the guitar guy's character. It's like watching toddlers. Okay. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to say this right out loud, Power Stroke. That truck's going to end up costing you more than what you would have just went ahead and paid for a brand new one. And it warms my heart to know that's coming for you. It really fucking does. It tickles me to death. And it ain't going to have anything to do with me or anybody you even think. It's going to come so far out of left field, you're going to fall out of your chair because it's going to be the least thing in the world you expected. But just know that these folks got more money than Ryan Upchurch. So you might want to go get with an attorney, maybe get a consultation, see what it is you could be liable for after slandering a bunch of people for a week, talking about all their personal business, their personal names, their personal addresses, pulling shit out of context, accusing people of heinous crimes with children and stuff all night long on a live feed. You might want to go back and re-listen to everything you said about everybody and see who it might be that's coming for you.
Well, so since the conversation ended up back there, as far as Xaname goes, what was she, a two-time veteran? What? Because I really don't know.
Well, I don't want to rehash it on here again. Her
okay.
military record is more than established, and I'm not going to talk about it no more.
Okay.
It's way more than established. It's concrete, solid, irrefutable.
Well, I wasn't being a dick or nothing. I was just curious.
No, I understand. I
didn't know.
understand that, but I just ain't going to continue to rehash that. I want that girl to have some peace.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, she's got a plan now. I got the bullies off her back. I'm good.
So they have let up?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Uncle Will's making, videos about me, slandering the shit out of me one day and then claiming he's going to sue me the next. And it's so laughable that I only threatened to do to Crack Squad what they actually did do to me and others. Okay. So they actually did dox me and actually did dox other people, right? I mean, they physically did do that. I only threatened. And I'm criminal of the year. And they're such victims.
Didn't you actually have somebody show up at a house that you own that somebody lives in?
They were talking about it.
Yeah.
Like putting the address out there.
Gotcha.
It sounded like that guy's a sheriff, so they probably
didn't know. I know. It's not somebody I know. It's somebody that rents from me. It's a house I own.
Right.
They've rented it for 13 years.
Right.
The same people. And they was putting that address out there. And I said, well, good luck, because that ain't where I live. And you guys are messing with somebody that you probably would not be messing with.
Yeah.
Then they were like reading somebody else's, like something about some kid in prison for a sex crime or something. And the name that she said, I've never even heard that name before. I can't remember what she said, but it was nobody I know. And she was so sure, just so damn sure, And it's like, nope, my son's in prison for drugs. That's all, just drugs. It's just one of them things that happen. He's been in and out of there 2 or 3 times. He'll figure it out one of these days. I can't help it. He's a grown man.
So not to change the subject, my father always either managed or owned a tire company.
Oh, is that
You
right?
know that the thing out back that looks like a cattle head chute somewhat for the 2-piece rims?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen one of them explode?
Yeah, cage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're OSHA required.
At my father's shop, it always set up in a corner, and I was never able to be there when they had some of those rims in there. And but my dad used to get pleasure out of throwing firecrackers behind the tire guy when he
Yeah, scare him. Yeah. I saw those. I saw it twice. I saw a split rim hit the ceiling and like bust the overhead lights and shit comes raining down. And then I saw one of them ricochet out of the cage and go flying across the street and just knock the shit right out of the door on an Audi. That guy wasn't too happy. He was sitting at a street.
But it should be just mostly on older equipment. I don't think they're putting out anything new nowadays, are they?
No, those no split rims are long gone. Yeah. You can't even have no more. They've been outlawed. You can't even.
That's what I figured.
You might see an old truck that still has them, but they would never be able to take it to like a tire store and have it worked on.
Okay.
They wouldn't even touch it. We got some kids in here trying to have fun. Anyway, I can tell you so many cool shop stories. Jesus, you wouldn't know, man. It's crazy shit. They had I had a regional manager who was a bit of a dickhead. And he was one of these like young dudes that thought that being a boss meant that you had to boss people around. And those are the worst kind of bosses, right? The ones that think their job is to actually boss people around, and that's the last thing you should need to do, right? So, and he would go around to all the stores and just kind of be disrespectful to the hourly employees, he might treat me with a little bit of respect because he knows I could fuck him in the ass by just walking out the door, and then now he's got a store with nobody to run it, right? But he would like be real disrespectful to my hourly employees and shit, So, man, I duked it out with this guy a couple times verbally, and threatened to walk. Well, we had an old Hunter alignment rack that, if I don't know if you guys have ever seen these, but only the back of the lift goes down. It's like a platform. Okay. And the back goes down and you drive a car up on it and the front wheels will be here. Okay. And it'll raise up. And now the car's set in level when you do your alignment. And then when you're done doing your alignment, you kick the air loose, kick a valve open, and it goes like that again. Right. And you back the car off. Well, a technician, just got done doing alignment. He had steering wheel prop in there and he had the car in neutral doing the wheel rollout. And this fucker comes in there and just like he shows up in the middle of the day when we're busier and shit. And he's got his girlfriend's car with him. Okay. And he wants to do an alignment on his girlfriend's car in my store on a goddamn Saturday when we're busier than fuck. Now, if that's not a worthless regional manager, I don't know what is, right? Interrupt the flow of business for your own shit, And he tells my technician to hurry up and get that car off there. And the technician went in the bathroom to wash his hands, and that jackass kicked the fucking rack release to let the fucking back down, and the car was in neutral. And the parking lot was kind of slanted down to a 4-lane road. And then across the 4-lane road was another like 4-foot drop off and a Pizza Hut. Okay. Well, that fucking car ended up in the Pizza Hut.
Oh, shit.
Fucker kicked the rack and the fucking car shot down across the street and ended up in the Pizza Hut.
Damn.
Needless to say, we got a new regional manager. Man, that was awesome. I'll never forget that, man. It was like
we had one. Dad used to let the customers. We tried to talk him out of it, but used to let the customers pull their car up on the rack, and when it made that clunk, she panicked and hit the gas instead of the brake, and and went straight through the alignment rack into the alignment machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy shit, man. Pretty crazy stuff. It says, what's it say? Oh, nice. My 16-year-old wants to be one. Oh, I see what you're saying. Conversation. Okay. Cheetahs. Oh, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. So cheaters are the worst invention, or what is this? Cheetahs are the worst invention for grown men that like to scare the crap out of each other. Cheetahs. What is that? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Should we even know? Oh, Kurt got another name. Guy, I know. That's so sad.
Oh.
You know, listen, I
That must be
honestly
what the-
thought that Uncle Will was like the worst Orion Upchurch simp, right? Because I'm telling you, I want you got to know, Ryan Upchurch could drag Uncle Will's mom. I mean, like just fucking drag her, right? And then tell Uncle Will, hey, man, I really appreciate you being a fan. I appreciate your support. And Uncle Will would drag his mom too. I mean, he is just a massive Upchurch simp, right? But he never went as far as to have Ryan's name tattooed on his arm. That is just fucking over the top right there.
Or maybe you just haven't seen it yet.
Huh?
Or
no,
maybe it's not
he's
visible.
proud of it. No, he took a lot of pictures of it. He's proud. It's on his Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't dabble in baseless. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say that unless I've seen it. He like has pictures of it on his Instagram. Check out my tattoo, and it's Ryan Upchurch. Ryan signed it, and he had it tattooed.
Was that the company truck he was waiting in the parking lot that night down there?
I don't
Panama
know.
or wherever it was.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know.
That
I
video.
doubt that. I know, because he wouldn't be allowed to take it home. He wouldn't be allowed to take that truck home unless there was like a job he had to do first thing in the morning. They might let him drive it home, but I doubt he's allowed to drive it home because
It was a utility truck.
Then it was. Then it probably was. Yeah. Then it probably was. He might have been on night call too, because some of them places do road calls 24 hours.
How far was that from where he lived?
Right there. He lives right there.
Oh,
like
okay.
10-mile radius.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I know our service guys, our road service guys, I had one guy that I would probably let to drive the truck home because I know he'd probably just go straight home. But the other dude, I would have never let him drive that truck home. No way. He'd have been out in the fucking ghetto letting people use the air compressor and shit. And like, check out my truck, man. He'd be pulling an Uncle Will trying to trick everybody into him owning it. Let me see who this is calling. Hold on. Hey, how you doing?
If you go down there in a few weeks and do all that.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't dumb. They ain't gonna trick me. You guys can try all you want. Well, you can't when you're cowards, man. Hey, I'm gonna jump off here. I'm on a live. Catch you later, bro. Yeah. He was saying the dude called and said, why can't you guys just come on here yourself instead of sending people in to say stupid shit and try to bait? And I would have to agree. It's pretty coward. I mean, unlike you guys, I put my face on what I say. I don't need a sock account. I don't need to sneak around and pretend to be somebody else and do nasty little filthy shit. All I got to do is put my face on it and speak the truth. Now I can just cut every one of you with it. Now, you guys better be careful reading somebody else's criminal records online because maybe they won't be as nice as me. about it, because if you got one that says something about checks, you got the wrong one. Can guarantee you that.
And I'll tell you, Psycho. Like if Uncle Will and any of these other guys, actually, if they would just listen, like one of the videos you made today, I watched about, and Stoner Dad as well. I'll throw him in there. About basically about pissing your life away on stupid shit. And
you know how many times I've seen that happen to people? Man,
and I'm one of those guys. I'm 40 years old. It took me until 35 to realize I'm fucking my life up. I'm pissing my life away. I've never been arrested, never been to jail, but I did stupid shit that constantly I would get fired from jobs. I would just do stupid shit. And I finally woke up at 35 and I was like, holy shit, if I'm
don't
lucky.
You wish now you'd have done it at 25?
Absolutely.
Knowing what you know now?
100%.
Because
now I for the past 5 years, I built drive systems for a company. I built drive systems or gearboxes, in case anybody doesn't know. Attach a motor to a gearbox, and I put
planetaries, cool.
Yeah, and I put all that shit together. It goes into anything mechanical, whether it be an escalator, elevator, whatever fucking.
So you build a planetary that transfers the power of the engine to a rotating assembly of some type.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and everybody, when I say drive systems, they think I mean transmissions in the car.
Right?
That's not what I do.
Conveyor belt, grain elevator. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And but it took me till 35 to realize, like, dude, if I don't get my shit together, I'm going to be a fucking deadbeat at 80.
Well, and on top of that, here's the scary part. And the reason why that was even on my mind today is I have a very close relative that's stuck in that boat. Okay?
Right.
They're 67. He's got bad knees.
Yeah.
His fucking knees are giving out. He's got to walk with crutches now. Okay. Well, he worked for cash under the table for some dude for like 10 years. And then he took a fucking 8-year hiatus. Didn't work at all. Just mooched it. And then he worked a couple of random jobs here and there. And then he got signed up for disability. Okay. Well, he's paying $750 a month rent. And his Social Security check is $800.
God.
What the fuck is the rest of his life going to be like?
Dirt.
All his siblings are gone. His parents are gone. He's got one adult son that's just not doing well. And all he's got's like me and another friend to lean on. And it's like, what the fuck is he going to do, man? He's, if he lives another 10 years, it's going to be a miserable existence.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be right on the fucking edge of poverty all the time. And I'm telling you, that shit sucks. It just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I've had 2 technicians in the same store working for the same boss in the same market for the same customers for the same money. One of them make $27,000 a year and the other one make almost $100,000.
Damn.
I mean, they both have equal opportunity and just they won't apply themselves. One of them, fucking dude show up late, call in sick all the time. He'd go to lunch and take lunch to the maximum. You know what I mean? Like if I'm lenient enough to say you can have about 40 minutes for lunch, he'll do 42 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then come back from lunch and bullshit for another 15. So he's really taking 55-minute lunch break. Right. And then his friend will stop by and bullshit with his friend for a couple minutes. And then he'll text his girlfriend, and then he'll text another buddy, and then he'll check a YouTube video. Then he'll pull a car in. Okay.
Yeah.
Where the other guy's done fucking pulled one in, put 4 tires on it, put it outside, and got another one. And then you go, well, how come he's making so much more, man? You fucking just kind of fucking taking care of him. That's your boy, man. I mean, that was the shit I heard, It's like, no, he just fucking works and you don't.
Yeah, no. I had a boss one time, different job, completely doing different shit at a national airport. And he kind of said what you were saying is like he would get shit because he would take care of certain employees. Like, Well, fucking yeah, I'm going to take care of them because they work. You know, like they actually do their job.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I take care of them?
Having credit is really important too, kids, because the better your credit is, the lower your interest rate.
Absolutely.
Right? And once you are able to get the premium interest rates, you never have to spend your own money. You can always spend someone else's money and never spend. Okay. And then another mistakes that you make. Okay. Never. So many people, when they get a lot of money or start making good money, one of the first things they do is go get a new car. And that's the worst fucking thing you can do because it depreciates almost 30% in one day.
That's
okay. The minute you drive it off the lot, buy a used vehicle that has 20,000 miles on it. It's still going to be under factory warranty. Somebody else done took the hit of depreciation. And now you could drive that thing for 2 years. And if you take really good care of it, you can trade it in and not be upside down and get something else. My wife and I have leased one vehicle. We buy one and we lease one because we like to take a lot of trips. So we always want to have a very new car around. So we lease. So all we do is make the exact same payment every month, and every 2 years we got a new car. We never owe any more. The payment never changes. We just take it back and lease another one. Take it back, lease another one. So every 2 years we got a brand new. We're on our 6th Jeep Grand Cherokee right now.
And you can do that when
I just got another one in 2022. That fucker's sweet. And but that's the way to do it. Now, kids,
if you don't mind me asking, in ballpark, what's that payment?
The lease is $365.
Damn.
Okay, thank you.
That's damn good. On a brand new car.
Yeah, brand new, 2022 loaded Jeep. What's that called? The Altitude. It Altitude.
Yeah.
And Crack Squad. I hate to break your hearts, but if you're running around bouncing checks, they're not going to put you in a 2022 fucking vehicle, dude.
So what do you think they do with the
2% interest? 2%.
What do you think they do with the vehicles?
The wholesale.
When you bring them back, do they go to auction or do they go
straight
to
to
the
wholesale auction? Yeah. I work 1 day a week in the afternoon at a local auction here right down the road. I drive cars through just to kind of.
We used to have one of those.
Yeah, I don't do it for the money. I do it to be there, check out what's going through, shake hands, meet people. In my shop, I don't work for retail. I do only dealers. Those cars that I work on belong to a used car lot. And that's the only work I do anymore is just for used car lots.
Well, that's good steady work.
That's how I got to knowing them down there at that auction. I go down there Wednesday or Thursday afternoons, depending on what day they have the public sale. And I'll drive cars through for 3 hours while they're having the auction. And I see a lot of, keeps you up to speed, what's selling. You get a lot of hot deals. I bought 2 wrecked cars out of there last year and fixed them both. Made pretty good money on them. You can catch them early enough. It's not going to have a salvage title. And so if it comes in there and maybe got a busted up fender and a hood and a bumper cover and stuff, maybe the alignment's hurt on it, you can buy that car with a clean title and fix it.
What do you do if you end up buying a car with a salvage title? Is there any way to turn that around?
Better plan on driving it. If you're going to buy one with a salvage title, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just not going to be able to sell it for retail because the bank won't give a loan on it.
Yeah.
So you can drive.
Just drive it. Fix it and drive it yourself. And that's my truck. My Power Stroke was a rollover. I put a different cab on it, and then maybe 2 years later, I pulled the engine out and just went clear through it and put every hot rod toy you can dream of in it. It's a nasty son of a bitch. I'll make a video of it someday. It's 4-wheel drive 1-ton truck, and they'll just literally bark the tires loud as hell in all 3 gears.
Nice.
Really loud. And it'll fry them if you sit there to stop and build up boost and let the turbo come up on boost, and you just melt the tires off of it. I mean, just crazy amount of power. It shocks you how much power come out in things.
What's up?
Hey, how we doing?
What up?
Y'all doing all right today?
Yeah. And then I got a CUDA. I got a Hemi CUDA, dual 4 Hemi CUDA, pistol grip 4-speed. It's got a narrowed 9-inch and pony cage in it and a 4-link. Runs 10-20s. I can drive it there, run in the 10s with it and drive it home.
It's not orange, is it?
No.
Because my buddy from high school,
it's fire engine red.
My buddy from high school had one.
It's squatting on a set of sticky Mickeys and a set of the Bogart drag wheels. And I've had it for years. I had a 65 Plymouth A990 with a 426 Max wedge in it, and ended up getting rid of it when my oldest son was born. I wish I still had that car because they're going for $250,000 now. Yeah.
You ever heard of Mason Dixon?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And then my wife's got a 69 MG. It's with the wire wheels and the French doors, and it's a little. We took the stock engine out of it, and I put the engine out of a Honda S2000 in it. So it's got a Honda S2000 drivetrain and a 69 MG. And it's got 4-wheel disc brake, and it's got McPherson struts and custom A-arms that I had made at a machine shop. And it's pretty cool. Pretty good little car. It's roadworthy. You take a pretty good little road trip in it.
What's been your favorite ride you've ever done?
That A990 at 65 Belvedere A990. That car would run mid-9s, and you could drive it there and drive it home. And plus it looked good. Plus it was worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I sold it to help buy a house. So I didn't regret it in that regard, but I just wish I would have known how much they were going to be worth in 20 years. I would have never dreamed them things would get that high. When I sold it was worth like $30,000, would have been top dollar. Now it's like $280,000 they're getting out of them things. Some people are getting more than that. So yeah, I wish I'd have kept that one. But I had a lot of them over the years. I was a Mopar nut. I would buy, now you got to understand, when I got my driver's license, there were CUDAs and Roadrunners and shit sitting on used car lots with 10,000 miles on them. I mean, fucking, you go to the bank and get a loan and drive away. And I had an ARA CUDA, burnt orange with a diced flat black stripe on it. And it was a 340. And then I had a 446 pack CUDA. And then I had a 70 GTX with a Hemi in it. Yeah, I'll show you guys some. I got pictures of them. But
I got my license on the
international scale. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty cool. I'm going to sell it though. I'm going to get rid of it and get something else. I'm just bored with it.
I'd love to find an International Scout too, if you ever run into one.
Yeah, there's a big bunch of guys restoring those. Those are getting real popular, like Jeeps.
Oh, they're through the roof.
Even the aftermarket industry starting to cater to them, because all the other cool 4-wheel drives have all been restored and stuff. And now people are getting into them Scouts. But I just saw one not too long ago that was all redone. It really looked nice. Somebody did a hell of a job on it.
They say the certain S10 Blazers, the smaller ones, is the same. You could take that frame and build one from that.
Let me tell you guys something. Every street rod you see has an S10 frame. That's the frame of street rods. That's the frame everyone uses. And that S10 frame is capable of going as fast as a motor can push it. It's a tried and true chassis, and it's a winning combination. And if you guys want to see something fantastic, if you want to see something that'll blow your mind, there's a YouTube channel called Street Racing Channel. And that's the son. And the dad's channel is called The Old Man's Garage. And they're a Christian family that goes drag racing for a living. But they street race. They do not do sanctioned racing. They do blacklist racing on the street. The son has an S10 that's it's a twin turbo, small block Chevy with a blow through carburetor.
Ooh.
And that son of a bitch, I've seen that truck, and the videos are up, and I'll drop the link, and you can go there now and see it for yourself. I've seen that truck carry the front tires an inch in the air over the finish line. At 180 mile an hour, it's got the front tires in the air. And this kid has won a lot of races against a lot of really fast cars. Like some of you guys may have seen Street Outlaws.
Yeah.
He has raced some of those guys and beaten them.
Really?
He has raced them and beaten them. And there are videos of him carrying the front wheels 3 foot in the air, that S10, for almost half the track. And him and his brother, he bought his little brother a Falcon, and it's a twin turbo LS powered Falcon. And those two vehicles have been number 1 and number 2 at a multiple amount of races. Now you got to understand, there's guys that'll race an entire season hoping to win once. These two brothers go out and win multiple times with 2 cars, and they're 1 and 2. They end up in the finals against each other. And so it's a really good YouTube channel, and it's Chicken Soup for the Soul, because they're a very tight-knit family, and they work together, and they got each other's back, and they all work for the same goal, and that's to have these cars ready for race day, because that's what puts food on the table. And these kids will go out and win money. I mean, they just won a $25,000 pot, and they do straight. There's always side bets going on too, and they win those. But it's very good entertainment, in my opinion. It's one of the best shows on YouTube, and they have been offered a TV show a dozen times, and they keep turning it down because they want to do their own thing. They don't want to be under the thumb of some network. So, but yeah, check it out. Very good entertainment. Very good channel. The Street Racing Channel, and the Old Man's Garage.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the one that turned me on to them. As soon as you told me about them, I went and checked them out. I love Old Man.
Is that S10 not a bad son of a bitch or
Dude,
what?
I seriously,
Isn't that crazy that he's doing that with a small block and a carburetor?
It's like how?
Listen, this thing pulls up to the line, and kids, this thing's got like primer on it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got like a dented fender and primer on it. It's got a small block Chevy with a carburetor. And here comes this blown screw blower, pro mod with, 4 foot of engine hanging out the hood, and great big, pipes throwing flames in the air, and that little S10 just leave it setting. Just blow their doors off. It's crazy to see. And the way that thing wheelies, man, I just never seen somebody do wheelies that far in a vehicle. That's crazy. Yeah.
Right.
I'm more into that dirt track racing.
Yeah, there's a dirt track right down the road from my house. Literally, you can hear the cars on Friday night when they run. It's close enough you can hear them. It's called 6 Mile Turn, and it's nice dirt track. They circle track, and they run them little hobby stockers and late models and
I run them stock cars is what I run.
What do you run?
Stock car?
Yeah.
Yes, street stock.
See, my oldest brother had hobby stockers, and that's where you use a 4-cylinder, and he used a half a Pontiac V8. He took a Pontiac V8 and only used half the engine.
God.
Yeah.
Some of the power them stock cars pull it's unreal how much power they're pulling.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can hear the tires squealing on that clay. Yeah, they go pretty fast. Yeah.
Well, I'm out here, guys. Y'all have a good.
Hey, appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you.
Yes,
man.
Sir. Absolutely.
Glad you enjoy the show.
Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll definitely be watching.
All right, appreciate it, bro.
All right, good night, brother. God bless.
Yep, thank you, man.
Have you done any street stuff like building?
I haven't. No, I did years ago, but when my kids came along, that was pretty much the end of it. And then when I came back to Ohio, I still had that CUDA and had it stored at my parents' house for a while, and then it was at a friend's house for a while. But That's the only reason I still got it. Just I already had it, But I haven't done anything like illegal like street racing in a long time. But yeah, we used to for sure.
Yeah, all my buddies, they race like the modified, the sport mods.
Yeah.
That's what they mess with.
Yeah, I'll do a couple videos of that MG with that Honda S2000, and it's not souped up. I bought a wrecked Honda S2000, and I just took the whole drivetrain out of it: motor, tranny, rear suspension, the rear axle, and the brakes and all that, and I just put them on the MG, and it sets just like you can't really tell. I mean, it sets the way it always did. It's actually an inch lower than what it was when it was new. And then I found some 17-inch. It had 14-inch spoke knockoffs from the factory. And I found some 17-inch aftermarket ones that are spoke knockoffs. So I got 17-inch wheels on it. And that makes it look a little better, more modern,
Right.
And it's got a little rag top that we never put it on. We only just drive it when it's nice out. But it's a spunky little dude. Them little S2000s run pretty good anyway. They're pretty spunky and it's fuel injected.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to see a damn video of it.
Yeah. I'll do a couple of videos. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I didn't get all crazy. I took the wiring harness out of the S10 and I just cut all the wires out of it I didn't need. And just left the wires in that I did need, and so that's kind of crude, really. I didn't get no custom harness made or nothing, and then used the Honda computer. That then, they make a lot of aftermarket parts for it, and I may make some videos doing that. Maybe I'll get some performance parts and put them on it. But it's spunky enough now; it really don't need anything. It's so light, and it goes as fast as you'd like care to go in it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it runs good,
Yeah, I'm a freaking addict for racing stuff. Anything racing, I'm like.
Is that right? You'll love that street racing channel then, dude. I'm telling you. Those guys are amazing, man.
I'm gonna check it out.
The sun is so good. The sun can look at a street, the surface, and know exactly what tune-up to put in that car. And how he's talented is 50 other cars will go and they all spin and smoke the tires and look like clowns. And he comes out there and picks up the front wheels and carries them in the air a quarter mile and goes twice as fast as any of them. So he knows what he's doing. You don't do that by accident, repeatedly. I mean, he just continually does it. And he's very respected in the street world, very respected. Big Chief from Street Outlaws has been to his house. They like hang out together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he lives right here by me. He's about 5 minutes from here. And they're cool, really cool people, man. Street Racing Channel. Bill Hutchison Jr. Cool people. And his dad is one of the best crew chiefs in the world, probably the best. That man knows his shit.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah. Like I said, there's so many people that get into that, and they might go a year or 2 years before they can even win a race, right?
Yes.
These kids can slap a motor in one, like maybe they scattered the engine and they got to put a new engine in. They'll go home, gather up some small block parts and throw an engine together and go back out and make a couple test hits on it and then go win a race with it.
Do you like them small block Chevy engines?
Huh?
Do you like the small block Chevy engines?
I never had any respect for them until I saw this guys. I was always one of them guys that, hot rod's supposed to have a big block in it,
Yes.
And that was always my attitude. I never had any respect for a small block Chevy, really, until I saw what those guys can do with one. That truck, kids, has got a small block. It's an S10 with a small block Chevy, and it can, in street dress, can go low sevens. Low sevens in a quarter mile. In street trim. Try that. So yeah, he's not playing. It's a serious machine. And the dad tunes it, and the dad tunes the motor, the son tunes the engine or the suspension.
Right.
And then they got this LS powered Falcon, and the dad doesn't do anything to it. The two kids operate it solely on their own, and they have won a multitude of races with that car. It's a real hammer. And so, yeah, it's good entertainment. I'll tell you, it's one of the best shows. I mean, we watch it. We don't watch TV. We watch that. We watch the dad's channel, and the dad's channel is more of the technical side of it, right?
Right.
And the son's channel is more of the racing side. But
What is
yeah,
it
if you
called?
like engines and you like to learn about engines, you need to watch that guy's videos, because I learned more about small block Chevys from him. And I've been in the business all my life, and I learned shit from him I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you, Justin. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame that we got here where we're at,
Wow, this world's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to cut out early, guys, though, tonight. What is it, a little after 11? Yeah, I kind of promised my wife I wouldn't be on here real late, on school night. So,
Keep mama happy.
Yeah. I get it. Gotta be flexible.
Right.
Yeah. So, but on the weekends we can raise hell, all night.
There you go.
All right. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming on, man. We'll catch you later.
Hey, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Yep.